Maritime Made is sponsored by Invest Nova Scotia because great things are happening. Invest Nova Scotia connects your business with the right resources and opportunities. investnovascotia.ca.
Aerotech Engines is one of Canada's leading aircraft piston engine overhaul shops. They've been overhauling airplane engines in Nova Scotia since 1996.
So Aerotech Engines works on all the engines for the small aircraft you see flying in the sky today. So there's a requirement for those engines to be torn down and inspected every so many hours, and we overhaul them and repair them to the manufacturer's standards. What makes Aerotech unique is that we have a large pool of engines that we do an exchange program for. So we build up engines in advance of our customers needing them, so they can just order the engines in advance rather than them sending their engines for overhaul. The success is the people, and there's nowhere to get training what we do. The local community, Nova Scotia Community College, offers an aircraft maintenance program, but it covers all aspects of aircraft maintenance. It doesn't focus solely on engines. So people have to come here and be trained, and watching employees grow and do well is a great thing.
Each engine sent to Aerotech is delivered to their receiving department. They're brought into the building and put on engine stands vertically, where they're prepared to be taken apart. This department identifies, tags, and stores engines. Every engine has a logbook, where notes of serious issues and who has worked on the engine are recorded. Further notes of observations are recorded on receiving sheets, including serial numbers, as part of a paperwork package that accompanies every engine overhaul. The engine is first inspected and photographed. As parts are removed, they're placed in different bins. Blue is for things needing to be cleaned and inspected. Red is for things that won't be reused. Everything is kept until a customer approves the work Aerotech recommends. Only the engine's accessories are removed here. The engine is taken to the tear-down department next. It's completely dismantled, preparing it for cleaning. Cylinders are removed. Hardware is put in a tin bin to be washed. Parts needing further assessment go in a yellow bin. Painted, unpainted, internal and external parts all get separated. After sorting, they go to the cleaning department to be washed. The parts go in a cold immersion fluid tank overnight, where paint, rust, and sludge are removed. Parts need to be thoroughly cleaned for them to be inspected properly. They're rinsed, removing the cold immersion fluid. In the Varsol tank, water and air further clean parts. An air gun is used to rinse and dry them. A wire wheel and die grinder are the final cleaning step. From here, parts go to the inspection department. A visual inspection is done, checking for cracks or dents. Valve covers are checked, ensuring they're flat. And intake pipes are examined with a flashlight. A dimensional inspection involving weighing and measuring is done on parts such as the crankshaft, ensuring they're within manufacturer's specifications and not bent. All steel parts receive magnetic particle inspections. Current is run through the parts, and the magnetic field should stay within the part unless it has a crack. If it is cracked, fluorescent steel particles are used to find it, and the piece is demagnetized. Non-magnetic materials go through liquid penetrant inspections. They're dipped in penetrant for 30 minutes, washed and dried. Under black lights, the penetrant will highlight in any cracks. Once parts are inspected, they're cleaned and dried. Now, with all the parts examined and a full understanding of what needs to be done to the engine, the sales team secures approval from the customer and work can begin.
Over the last 5 years, we've been going from strength to strength from a growth perspective. We're currently expanding Aerotech. We're adding 7,000, 8,000 square feet to the building, bringing the two new test cells inside the building. Invest Nova Scotia has been heavily involved in Aerotech's growth over the last five, 6 years. So with their help, we came up with a go-to-market strategy and acquired a whole bunch of new customers.
A paint technician in the paint shop starts masking exterior parts such as this crankcase, protecting areas they don't want painted. After adorning a mask, they spray on high-heat enamel paint. The parts dry overnight. Once cylinders are cleaned in the teardown department, they go directly to the cylinder shop. Here, an inspection or bench test happens, pressurizing cylinders, ensuring there are no leaks. A flashlight is used to check for cracks. Next, the exhaust port is refaced with a sandpaper disc. The surfaces are smoothed and flattened to make a good seal. Then it's polished. Cylinder honing happens next. This removes corrosion and adds cross-hatching to increase the oil flow. The barrel diameter is measured with a cylinder bore gauge to see how much has worn away. Accessories taken off by the receiving department go right to the accessories shop. An accessory technician is assembling a Magneto, which is part of the engine's ignition system. It's timed and tested to run at 1500 RPM. If parts pass, they move on. Now the parts go for tray review. With the parts list for reference, they double-check part numbers, badge numbers, and organize everything on pre-assembly trays. Reworks receives parts that need final touch-ups before assembly. Almost 100 reworks can happen here. Connecting rods are rebushed, and connecting rod bushings are honed. The assembly department is the next stop, where the engine is assembled in its entirety. Several are being worked on in various stages of completion. Each time a stage is finished, a double sign-off happens. 52 sign-offs happen in this department alone. All parts are torqued on this nearly finished engine. Oil and fuel hoses are added. The serial numbers of all parts and accessories are recorded. Next, this test cell is run for 4 to 6 hours, ensuring it operates within manufacturing specifications, and the full indication of the engine is checked. It's adjusted to different throttles to test the performance, and cooled off to shut it down and do a leak check. Soon, Aerotech will have capacity to test 6 engines a day. Finally, the servicing department does final checks, ensuring engines are ready for shipment.